Alright guys, Chris here, telesplashgaming, with my mid-week stream. Now, I'm popping this in real quick because at E3, we got a huge announcement from Arcade1Up. We're getting the third generation of arcades. I don't know if they're going to have more, but they announced two. TMNT and the Marvel Cabs. We're going to start off with the most iconic arcade game of the late 80s, early 90s, and that's the TMNT franchise. If you were a kid growing up in the 80s, everybody loved TMNT. G.I. Joes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they were on point. And this cabinet screams nostalgia. If you had a chance to play this as a kid, you're going to feel right at home. It has April O'Neil on the side, the turtles coming out of the sewer. It looks incredible. But you know what? What else do you see? It's the first 4-player Arcade1Up cabinet. That is so sick. And with that, the price point's going to be an additional $50. But we can get to that in a second. You are getting the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. It's amazing. You are getting the original arcade game, and you're getting the stellar sequel, Turtles in Time. Now, both these games were available on, platforms. I had the original arcade game on the NES, which is not the best way to play it, but it's still an amazing beat-em-up for the NES. And then Super Nintendo got a great port of the arcade Turtles in Time. So there are people that have probably played this, even if it wasn't in the arcade, but to have this, to have that nostalgic feels crawling all over, is awesome. These are two arcade games that I think are just stellar. My only complaint is not the price. At $350, you get an extra 2 controllers. You can hang out with 3 of your buddies and go back and beat it. My only complaint is I wish they would have found a way to bring a third game in to kind of keep it going, because I think that they're 2 games is in the arcade cabinet is worth it, but gosh, it'd be nice just to get a little extra game in there. I know it'd be hard with that cabinet. There's only 2 really good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade games, but I mean, heck, I would have even taken like Tournament Fighters as like just a bronze medalist just to have it on there. But I understand it's not a beat 'em up, it's a fighting game, but we can get to that in a second. So $350, TMNT, classic cabinet. I remember pumping so many quarters into this thing. I'm super excited. I love my Arcade1Ups, and this is just another one that's like, dang, I might have to get this one. But the next one is the one that I'm definitely getting, and that is the Marvel cabinet. Now, this one's the normal $299 price, but it comes with 3 games. The first one, X-Men Children of the Atom. Kind of the original Marvel vs. Capcom, kind of, laid the ground for what was to come in the future. X-Men Children of the Atom, great fighting game with the X-Men characters and the villains. It was really fun. I didn't play a ton of this, but I do have a little bit of memories of playing at the arcade. But the next one is Marvel Superheroes, which is the sequel to X-Men Children of the Atom, and this one I did play quite a bit. I loved playing this game. I actually have it on my main cabinet, and every once in a while I turn it on. I'm terrible at it, but I love playing this game. And the third is kind of a surprise. The third game they included on this cabinet is The Punisher. Now, I never played The Punisher at all. I've never played it on a console. I've never played it in arcade, but it looks to be a really cool classic, beat 'em up. So you can't go wrong with the beat 'em ups. And with the beat 'em ups, that's my only kind of kind of makes me wary when it comes to buying these, is that as much I love TMNT and as much as I think it's incredible to have that cabinet for that reason alone, the only thing is beat 'em ups tend to get a little bit old once you've beat them and you're not having to actually put in quarters to keep playing. What made Turtles and X-Men and some of these side-scrolling beat 'em ups so incredible was that you had to keep pumping quarters in, and more often than not, you didn't have enough quarters to beat the game. So having it in your house, you are able to play the game to completion, and that's great, but it's also a bummer because I think that the actual excitement of the game and the cabinet's going to wear off a little bit quicker than, let's say, a Mortal Kombat arcade, which is ridiculously hard. I can't get past the first, 4 characters anyway. But then, the fighting games seem to have that way that brings you one-on-one, you get to play with your buddies, and you can keep picking different characters to go through the game. So I think that the longevity-wise, I really feel like the fighting games are great, like Street Fighters, the Pac-Mans, because it's always trying to beat the high score, stuff like that, whereas the side-scrolling beat-em-ups could become a little bit more stale, a little bit more fast. But don't let me dissuade you from picking these up. These are both awesome, and frankly, if I had an unlimited budget, I would have them both, but I think the Marvel one is really the one that's going to, be in my game library, in my game room, and probably over here next to Mortal Kombat somewhere if I can make room. I love the way it looks. As much as the Turtles one is amazing, this Marvel one is incredible with Thanos. I love Thanos. I think Thanos is so awesome. I love the heels. Being a troll, I love the bad guys, and I think Thanos is one of the best, and this cabinet just looks sick. So I just love the way it looks. I think that the marquees look great. I think they're The games are incredible, and I'm really pumped, so I just had to make a quick video midweek to fill you guys in on what's going on with Arcade 1-Up, because I think it's incredible what they're doing. They are killing it, and I just couldn't ask for a company to do anything more with my childhood memories of gaming in the arcades. Let me know which one of these cabinets you guys are pumped about. I don't know how anybody who played these in the 80s and 90s is not going to be excited about these two. So guys, keep trolling, keep rolling. We'll see you a little later.